you broke your pencil keeping score on all that stuff. So proud of our kids. It's kind of an ugly way to win, but that's how we're going to have to play this year. And you know, we could have quit early as bad as we struggled offensively, and our kids just kept hanging in there. And what we did defensively in the second half was really special, and we beat a good basketball team tonight. They've been in a couple Sweet 16s the last 4 years, conference championships. They've had about 95 wins over the last 4 years, and I know they didn't play as well as they would have liked, but our group played hard and competed and fought through a lot of things, and not very often do you somebody got a number on what we ended up shooting, 29%, or was it less than that? 30% from the floor, 0 for 10 from 3, under 50% from the line, and find a way to win. So proud of our group for that. Taylor Collins showed glimpses of what she's capable of being, and her athleticism and the boards that she got tonight, and just a really good win. I want us to get better offensively. We're working at it. It isn't coming quickly, but just find a way to win basketball games. And said Mr. Coach Eddie and Mr. Iva would be proud of those type of games, you know, the way you guarded. And sometimes you just got to find a way to win, and that's what our kids did tonight.
You guys came out of the break only allowing 2 points in the third quarter. What kind of was your mentality to the players in the half going into the third quarter?
Well, we felt like we were still in it, and we told them to, here's your goal, cut it to 4 at the fourth quarter. You're not going to get it all back at once, and you just got to be tough-minded on the defensive end. And there were 2 teams that didn't shoot it very well. It was physical on the boards. There was 104 rebounds tonight. I don't know if I've ever recalled coaching in a game where there's that many rebounds, but we struggled offensively, but I thought we executed at the end, and then we missed some layups. We ran in some nice back doors and missed some easy opportunities right there that when you have difficulty scoring, you got to finish those off. And I would have liked to hit a few more free throws. I'd live a couple more years if we make a few of those free throws, but it was big. Nia making one to make it a 2-possession ball game. So when you guard like that and hold a good team to 40 and 13 the second half, you just got to move on and be proud of your kids and just continue to try to get better.
You mentioned Taylor, but what specifically do you think it was that worked so well for her to get that run going in the third quarter?
You know, she just became active and she became more aggressive, and she's worked hard on her shot. She went home over the summer, and it was big for her to step up and hit that little jumper at the free throw line. I thought that was a big boost for her confidence-wise, and I think that just propelled her to finish things off. And she's really, really good on the board. She had 13 boards in the last game and had 11 in this ball game, and she was playing against a really good player. The Franklin kid had 19 boards tonight. She's a really good player as well. Thought we did a nice job. Bryce Caleb was Conference Player of the Year last year and is preseason Conference Player of the Year again, and Lauren Fields did a nice job on her defensively. So concentrated effort on some people. Not a pretty game offensively, but I told our kids, let's just don't grade this one. Let's just enjoy a win, and I'm proud of you the way you did it. It would have been real easy for our group to hang it up the way we played in the first half, and as poor as we were offensively, but that's to the character of our kids.
You mentioned.
Sorry, go ahead.
You mentioned Franklin. She was one of 3 Missouri State players coming into the game, averaging over 10 points, and no one on Missouri State got over 10 points. Kind of, what was your defensive game plan going into the game?
Well, you know, we identified their leading scorer coming into the game was the transfer Mariah White from Cleveland State. She was averaging 16 or 17, and we did a great job. Did a great job on her, and you know, we identified those 3 kids before the game, Caleb and White and Franklin, and all of our players stepped up and accepted the challenge of guarding some really good players.
What does it mean to you to see your team get this victory and fight back like that on a night like the Remember the 4 night too?
Well, this is it's nice, but this night was a lot more than a basketball game. It was 10 years ago today. We lost 4 people that are very dear to Oklahoma State family. I did not know the Brandstetters very well, but Coach Bucky was my best friend. He was the best man at my wedding. His wife played for me. So it's been an emotional day, and Miranda Cerna was as good a lady as there ever's been, and miss those 2 on a daily basis. I mean, just incredible people, and I'm glad for the people that came out to show remembrance for those 4 special people tonight.
I saw on Twitter today too where Travis Ford was paying his respect to the 4. What does it mean to you to see him still at a different school?
That guy's first class. He's first class. I don't know of anybody, when Travis and his wife Heather were here, I don't know of anybody that helped our team or me personally get through that than Travis Ford. He rented the bowling alley out for our team. He had us over to his house. He did everything he could to try to get those kids pointed in a different direction, and that guy's a class act.
I don't know if you were in the locker room, but I saw the video when it played on the jumbotron, where at what I presume to be the memorial ceremony in Galgriba, you kind of stood on the floor, and instead of that moment of silence, you asked for a moment of celebration and acknowledgement for those 4. Could you tell me what you remember about that moment?
Yeah, I just remember Coach had a dynamic personality, and his charisma was unbelievable. He was a player's coach, and you know, a lot of times that when you're at a ceremony and you're paying honor to people, it's a moment of silence, but that wasn't his personality. He liked having this place rocking. He coached the game where we played OU in front of 15,000 people here, and he was at the top when that happened, and that's what he enjoyed. So I took the approach that day when at his service that we're going to do what he would want, and that was the thinking on that.
How special is it for you to see Liz Donahoe back here in Galgriba tonight?
Well, we brought Liz down in the locker room after the game. She was one of our, you know, Andrea Riley was the first prize recruit, and Liz Donahoe came a little later, but Liz and Coach were really, really close, and we've been texting back and forth, and she was able to come. She's got a little one, and we brought her down in the locker room, introduced her to our kids, and love Liz Donahoe. She's one that was loyal to Oklahoma State for 4 years, and this is where she wanted to be and has never wavered on that, and just proud that she could be here.
Anything else?
One more thing on the game. Nia Boyd had 7 boards, 7 assists, and 5 points. How do you think she's mixing in with the other teammates in her 3rd game?
Our kids like Nia. She's got personality. She's trying to find her way offensively, but she had 8 rebounds at SMU. She's just a competitor, and if you guys notice, everything we do defensively starts with the pressure that you put on the ball, and Nia is picking up somebody in the backcourt the whole ball game. It takes a lot of guts, a lot of toughness to do that, but what we do defensively, a big part of it starts with Nia Boyd, Micah Dennis.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.